Hi, I'm Nohelia Rambal. I'm the founder and director of Goodfind. We're a directory of sustainable brands that helps consumers find good brands that do good and consume more responsibly. So the idea behind it was came actually from my background in marketing. I spent many years in the corporate side, driving demand and driving kind of repeat purchases and retention side of things for multinationals and big companies. And I always wanted to do something more purposeful. I wanted to feel like what I was doing made a difference beyond that particular industry. And when in 2019, I decided to take the leap and kind of go solo, independent first as a consultant, not quite as an entrepreneur at that point. I realized, well, I need to learn about what is the need out there, which is a process that many entrepreneurs go through. And my first step, just to learn a bit more about it, was to consult as a marketing consultant for impact organizations, so social enterprises, and brands that do good in general. In my process through that, I got a couple of clients that were charities, a couple that were social enterprises, and a couple that were just like independent brands, but they had a good mission. And I realized very quickly they had amazing products and services, but they really struggled to kind of get the right audiences or the right volume of customers. It was always kind of a struggle, either because of the lack of skills or budget, or basically the team wasn't big enough to actually compete against other kind of bigger brands, more established brands out there. So to me, very soon after I started working with these brands, it was really much about like, well, there is a massive gap here, because everyone I know on the other side would like to consume from these brands. They would like to know about these brands, but they don't know how to find them. And on the other side, there is all these brands offering this amazing stuff and not enough people know about them. So the tool was created at the back of, one, my passion and kind of will to do something that was purposeful and impactful, and then understanding that gap in the market. Because it's not easy to do a Google search and come up with these things. So I created the kind of small search engine that will give you only purposeful results to your queries. And that's how it started. The issue that we're trying to solve is the lack of representation. There is the big kind of father problem is the way we consume. There is our economic growth for more than a century now has been based on overconsumption and overproduction. And we have utilized a lot more resources than we can actually afford to utilize. So this is the parent problem out there. But then the second problem after that is people are waking up. More than 54% of people really want to change their lifestyle into something more sustainable. This is a global statistic. But what they find as an obstacle is, well, first of all, it's very difficult, it's time consuming, and it's very daunting as a process because you don't find the right answers. And then secondly is really high prices and not knowing what the context is for that. And another problem is lack of support, like the governments. There is not enough rewarding experiences. There is not enough incentive for people actually to go the extra mile and the extra effort and try and consume more sustainably. So what Goodfind is trying to do is make it easy for them. So there is no obstacle into consumption that is more sustainable, that they can actually really quickly come and set, compare between a few brands and choose one and buy from that brand in a matter of like minutes, like they would go in another platform, very known commercial platforms out there, and choose any other product. So we're trying to eliminate the barriers to consume more ethically. Actually, we have done that job for you. Look, these are the options. We have done the research. We have done the reading. It's done for you. Look, these are the options. So yeah, in a way, it's trying to bring kind of convenience and practical and ease into ethical consumption. So I think at this point, my secret sauce I look for in people have 5 main elements. The first one is passion for change, because what we do is for impact. And unless that is in there and that people that we look for have to have that passion. Otherwise, it's a no-go. The second one I really like to talk about is biased towards action. And this comes very much from that company culture in the past that I've experienced both sides, and kind of that analysis paralysis that a lot of people and companies have, and kind of finding blockers to kind of try things out is something I don't share. So I much rather get something done that is not 100% correct and learn from it than putting myself and my team or the team a pressure to develop something to a perfection point that doesn't exist. So totally that goes hand in hand with having a growth mindset. So as the third element, for me, having people that know that they can improve is super important. And obsessed with doing the right thing. So this comes with learning how to be more inclusive, understanding that you will make mistakes and you can fix them, and kind of always striving to learn more about like, okay, what can I improve on, and what can I fix and do right this time. But being fair, that's probably what it means. Just knowing that you're gonna do what is right for people. So just today with my team, we were talking about like some content of ours will speak about certain groups and minorities, etc. And our social media accounts, those days that we post about this, not even, I mean, they shouldn't be controversial, but they probably still are, we're actually dropping in followers count. Some people that are there don't like those messages. And we were talking this morning and saying, that's fine with us. We don't need those followers. Like, honestly, we don't need them. We actually prefer them to go somewhere else, because this platform is about doing the right thing for minorities, for diversity, for inclusion, for all of these topics that other people are not representing enough. And then the fifth and last one is transparency. So I am, from my cultural background, very open, and I don't have a lot of filters. I try and like say things as they are, kindly, but as they are. And I appreciate that in people. So for me, it's very important to work with people that can actually tell me or anyone things as they are in a kind way, but in a way that actually will be constructive. So those are my 5 things I look into people. But as I said, like until very recently, I didn't even think about it. It's been an amazing journey. So the first ever skill I had was actually virtual assistants. There was, back in the day when it was only me on the team, around this time last year, I realized that there were a lot of admin repetitive tasks that were taking so much of my time, and I wasn't even able to kind of spend time planning, discovering things, researching into new things, etc. And as a solo founder and having only my time available, I realized very quickly when I need to hire someone to do those tasks. Otherwise, I would never be able to move forward so quickly. So that was the first hire we got. Then the second ever hire was a marketing apprentice. So much of what we do relies on getting messages out there and growing our audience and trying to get in people's minds that I understood very quickly that I needed more help in managing those social media channels, etc., and helping me spread those messages. After that, we worked really closely with a consultant to do our rebranding, understanding our messages, our brand, our personality, what we want to say, in which way, etc. So yeah, in the UK at least, the Father's Day is the 20th of June, and we respect a lot. It's not an easy day for a lot of people. It's like Mother's Day, and some people might not have anyone to celebrate, or some people might have just lost someone that they used to celebrate, etc. So it's always a hard decision to choose what to talk about and when. Well, the reason why we've decided to go with this kind of gift guide, which is our campaign, is an ethical Father's Day gift guide, is because majority of people out there will be looking for Father's Day's gift. And these are the opportunities we get as a company to actually do our mission, which is changing people's behavior. Don't go to the regular place that you go to buy the same last minute gift that is not eco-friendly, that doesn't have any social impact. Come to us and buy it here. You make a difference. So we have decided to go for this type of seasonal campaigns, because it's very important for us at these particular stages, like Christmas, Mother's Day, Father's Day, to change behavior, because most people will be actually behaving in that way. They will be looking for a gift. So a lot of my friends and other people in our network have all come back saying, amazing ideas. I'm already getting something from my dad, from these brands. So this is the kind of things that we do to support those brands, right? Like those brands that are part of that campaign are getting so much exposure to new consumers that they probably otherwise wouldn't reach out to, because they have their different audiences. So yeah, the idea is to do that, to amplify the impact that those brands do themselves, and then amplify our impact by getting more people on board with the idea of thinking differently about consumption. We are on goodfind.io, and on Instagram, we are goodfind_io, same on Twitter. I encourage everyone to just take one thing. Just think about one element of your life that you could do more sustainably, and just do that one thing. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to become a full-on green warrior tomorrow. Just do one thing, and that makes such a difference. So I encourage everyone to not underestimate their own capacity to make a difference.